For us, we're going to introduce Helen Davies from Barnet Unison colleague, who's going to show a wee video first.
How do I get to it? It's on Google.
I think it's down the bottom.
It's been what? What was it?
Bear with us, please. Okay.
Okay, so we've got a song. You can feel free to sing and dance along to it. It's been created by a member of ours who shall remain nameless.
There's a new craze that is sweeping the nation. Come on, baby, do the easy counsel. You can do it if you want a nasty reputation. Come on, baby, do the easy counsel. It's all about outsourcing and privatization. Do it and you'll be causing mass devastation. So come on, do the easy counsel with me. You've got to lay off staff now. No hesitation. Cut pay, cut pensions, attack the workers' terms and conditions. Take the profits generated by the working classes. Come on, baby, do the easy counsel. Give them to the fat cats who just sit on their asses. Come on, baby, do the easy counsel. Give lucrative contracts to the big corporations. Reward the richest 1% of the population. So come on, do the easy counsel with me. Never mind low standards and poor services. Cut wages, cause job losses. Give directors pay rises and huge bonuses. Make sure the profit is your prime consideration. Come on, baby, do the easy counsel. Make outsourcing services your counsel vision. Come on, baby, do the easy counsel. Then waste public money on consultants' fees. Blame all the sacrifices on austerity. Then you'll be doing the easy counsel with me. You've got to lay off staff now. No hesitation. Cut pay, cut pensions, attack the workers' terms and conditions. Take the profits generated by the working classes. Come on, baby, do the easy counsel. Give them to the fat cats who just sit on their asses. Come on, baby, do the easy counsel. They do it done in capital with dedication. Make the rich and greedy objects of their adulation. So come on, do the easy counsel with me. Do the easy counsel with me. Do the easy counsel with me. Hang on a minute. Cut pay, more services, job losses. This doesn't sound like fun. I thought this dance was going to make people feel good, like Agadoo or the Hokey Cokey or the Twist. And this is about exploiting the workers and shortchanging residents with poor quality services. How about we change the words to come on, stop the easy counsel with me.
Okay, I'm pleased you like it, because what you can do is, there's a lot of people here probably on Facebook or Twitter, then please do stick it on, like it and make it big, because Russell Brand has already taken it up and we went from 23 hits to 800 very quickly. So, because I want to take you to a place 700 miles from here, North London, which was Thatcher's constituency, and it's a place where you have the most incredible social inequalities. So you've got Bishop's Avenue just behind Hampstead Heath, with massive mansions, areas of land where they build swimming pools underground and God knows what, alongside areas, street after street of very poor, dense housing, where the councillor with the lead for housing in Barnet on his Facebook a few years ago I had to smack my bitch up because she disturbed me watching football whilst by doing the ironing. That's of course ironic. He actually had that on his Facebook. Before the election last year, he said his ideal Barnet resident was somebody who pays taxes and does not use any of these services. And really, that project is coming to life in Barnet when you have the council handing about £400,000 to developers in the West End and estate, with no provision or very limited provision for social housing. So the estate that is being redeveloped for luxury flats is moving the working class people who live there out. They're being offered places in Luton, Enfield, anywhere but Barnet, where you have a few weeks ago the really appalling vision of children and their families being evicted. The council had them housed in temporary accommodation, which was through Notting Hill Housing Association, land that used to belong to the army. It was temporary accommodation, but it failed to give them permanent accommodation. So when the time came for the developers to move in, people were evicted there and then, and you had families with young children going across the road to seek housing. I'm sure our homeless colleagues there might recognise that scene, where the children, on the day that the director for the CEO for the Barnet Group, which runs Barnet Homes, left, had a leaving do that day, where children from Sweets Way, which is quite ironic, Sweets Way, children being evicted, it's quite bitter, isn't it? They went into the building, the security went mad, locked the doors, and the children said, well, you can't lock us in, we need to get outside to our parents. And actually the police had to come by and say, well, no, you can't actually lock children in a building, you've got to let them out. So it's a council which has got some very interesting, as you said, interesting values, and but it's a council which is on the knife edge, because last year, through the campaigning of the community, the council has got its Tory majority by one seat only. And what we see is time and time again council meetings disrupted by residents who are challenging what the council is doing. And also that's backed up by our branch, Barnet Unison, which has been running a campaign for several years now against the Easy Council model. And the latest project is now to outsource all the rest of the council. So what we have still directly run by the council is what's called street scene, that's refuse, waste, refuse, waste and parks, gardening, that area. But it's also social services, it's children's social workers, it's adult social workers, and it's children's centres, children's homes. All of that is down for, being marked up for privatisation. The first wave will be special education, skills education, the education department, what's left of it, plus catering, and then the children's centres to be followed thereafter. And what we're saying is, the council is saying this is our response to austerity. But funnily enough, Capita, which already runs half the council, was given £110 million extra. And what the council is attempting to save is £70 million. Well, there's something not quite right there, is there? And we have got the bitter experience of where colleagues have been privatised, stupid out. Several of our workers were made redundant on the day of the transfer. which took place because their jobs don't need to be located in Barnet. So now if you want some services, you're ringing Coventry, you're ringing Belfast, anywhere but Barnet, it would seem. And some of this and other colleagues, people might be aware, and I know again thanks to Glasgow colleagues in the homelessness teams, aware of the Your Choice Barnet workers who were outsourced into a company which is wholly owned by the council, and they had a 10% wage cut last year. They've taken 11 days of industrial action. And they have been facing the most intense intimidation, being told, well, if you carry on striking, we haven't got any more money, and then you'll be privatised proper, and that means you won't have your pension. So this is, it's incredibly intimidating for quite a small group of workers to be told, well, the only way you can win is by making the council take you back. But this is a council which appears to be a complete juggernaut and completely out of control. So it's quite an ordeal. So I think the fact that those workers have kept coming out on strike has been truly heroic in the face of that. And they have had some successes, so that their company was supposed to have to pay back £1 million to Barnet Homes, which lent them the money. That's now being said, well, no, you don't have to. Because that £1 million, let's be clear, would have come directly out of the pockets of our members, because there are no profits to be made in social care. So, so the budget this year is looking to privatise the rest of the council, and we felt that we had to move straight away to ballot the entire branch over industrial action. And to be honest, when I agreed to do this meeting, I didn't know until I knew that the ballot was out. I didn't know what I would be saying. I might be saying, oh God, well, sorry mates, it's all over. But I am pleased to be saying we had an 87% majority for industrial action. So the fight is really on, and there is an election. It's in the backdrop of an election. One of the council wards is up for election as well, because a councillor has resigned, so potentially the council could tip, although it has to be said this is a very, very conservative ward which is being fought. But you can rest assured there will be a fight. It won't be easy, because we're talking about quite a large group of workers, and so actually anything anybody can do to promote this dispute, anything you can do to raise collections, raise awareness in union branches, appear on demos. Right now in Barnet, as I'm speaking, there is a demo going through Barnet from library to library, because that's another service which is being privatised, set up for the count. And I think what this is about, the money is there, that is clear. The money is there. This is about questioning the values of our society profoundly. This is wholly in line with the principles of SWAN. Predominantly, this is a strike that will be led by social workers, and so I do look forward to seeing SWAN banners everywhere promoting our dispute. And I want to thank you for inviting my branch here to speak. There are elections as well in Unison. I don't want to go without mentioning this. Who's in Unison? Great. There are elections in Unison. So there is an issue here, because our branch fights, Glasgow fights, but actually what is going on in the rest of our movement that other branches aren't fighting tooth and nail for the same thing. Really, it has to be, Glasgow's example has to be everywhere if we want to make a difference. Now, there is a question of leadership, and if you're in Unison, you get to make a decision about what that leadership looks like. So see me and others afterwards. We've got a few tips.
Thank you very much.